welcome back to Hill Victory. I'm your host, Theo, and we got Felix back.
Again. What's up?
And we're going to be talking about Week 11 versus Dolphins. Versus the Dolphins in the international game in Madrid, Spain. It was honestly a good game, and, I'm not going to talk about the ending until later, until I have to, because obviously that was god-awful. But to start off, honestly, it was a pretty close game. It was pretty good. Our defense actually let up a lot of open big chunks for Devon Achane in particular. Rushing absolutely tore through our defense with huge plays. And honestly, that's what's expected after what our defense has been doing a lot.
Yeah, and a couple of players got suspended. Lattimore might have had his last snap with us. So it's not just that, though. Even if we had everyone, our defense, I don't know what's happening this season. So I'm not surprised that a great running back like Achane just tore through us, but he had an excellent game, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, Achane did have an excellent game. He was able to absolutely run through us. But I would like to say that when it did absolutely matter, our defense came up huge.
Yeah, that is true. We got multiple fourth down stops, 2 or 3 actually. That's a lot. Those were all huge for us. Mike McDaniel kept going for it on fourth down, and we got a lot of stops.
Yeah, and I would say that our defense was selling, but then again, although they let off these huge runs to let the Dolphins downfield, in the end, the Dolphins were stopped when it mattered most. On the 3rd and goals, they got stopped. On the 3rd and 2s, on the inside the red zone, they got stopped, and that's what mattered. And speaking of which, I'd like to bring up a huge play when we needed it. It was something like 3rd and 2 inside the red zone, and Jacob Martin had a really good sack where Tua got away from him at first. He continued chasing, and he brought him down. It was a huge play. It held him to a field goal, and that was really important.
Yeah.
That was really important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a great play by Jacob Martin. I've learned that throughout my career in football, never give up on the play. And even though Tua got away at first, Martin still managed to bring him down in the end.
Yeah, but if you want me to be honest, besides that play and maybe a couple others, our defensive line did absolutely nothing. If there was a reason it was a turnover, besides that play, it was likely a pass. Honestly, there was a couple stuffs from our run game on when they were like 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, 3rd and goal, whatever.
And Javon Kinlaw saved us at the end of the game.
I'm not going to talk about that yet. Let's first start by saying this thing happened where they were letting up huge plays and then got a couple stops that held them to a field goal. Now, is it okay that they let up huge plays? No. It was a good recovery, but if you want to be honest, we're not going to win games off of just recovering. We need to lock them down from the start.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I mean, even though we got a lot of stops from them, we gotta just, because they were gaining huge plays, huge yardage on first down. So if we really want to get a stop, we got lucky on all those plays. We gotta really lock in and lock down the entire drive.
Especially because it's not even just Achane. Although Achane had an absolutely incredible game, Jalen Waddle was destroying us too. And I will say, he dropped a lot of balls, which is very unexpected for him because he's got great hands. But he got open constantly and found a way to get open and destroy our defense. And when you have dual threats like that, when you have someone that can run the ball, someone that can catch the ball, it's not going to be easy to stop. And I understand that it's not easy to stop, but we do have to learn to do that, especially with adapting to our new defense this year with a lot of injuries and with trades or whatever it is. We need to adapt to that. We need to be able to play defense. It doesn't matter what team it's against. It needs to happen.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I mean, we let Jalen Waddle get open all game, and I know we keep talking about how defense isn't doing great. But I definitely agree with you. There's a lot of open gaps. There's a lot of open gaps in our defense that we need to fill in, and maybe that can at least help us a bit because our defense is doing horrible right now. If I'm being honest, like throughout the season.
Yeah, frankly, you're right. Our defense is doing terrible, but another thing I would like to talk about would be special teams. Obviously, nothing big return-wise, nothing big really happened in anything like that. Now we're talking about kicking field goals, kicking extra points. Matt Gay, huge thing just happened. He got released after missing a 51-yarder and a 56-yarder. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I do have a lot of thoughts. Matt Gay, in the first place, I understand that we didn't have a kicker, but straight up, he's old. He is not good. He literally just missed 2 field goals. It was definitely a smart decision that we released him. I hope we get a good and a better kicker.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I think it was a great idea to release him. And if you go back and watch our other videos, especially the one for free agents, I was extremely excited for signing him because he's a veteran and he used to be good during his career, but it really stinks now because he's old and he's not good anymore. And now we don't have a kicker. I'm not even sure who's going to back him up. And obviously we didn't have anyone last year either. We had Matt Gay and Zane Gonzalez not Matt Gay, Austin Seibert and Zane Gonzalez, who did absolutely nothing. Austin Seibert missing kicks to lose us the game. Zane Gonzalez also missing a lot of kicks, and it was just not okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I don't really know what we're gonna do on the kicking part, on the kicker part, but yeah, hopefully we get a new and better kicker who can actually kick field goals and at least get up to a 60-yarder at this point because all our kickers have been horrible this season and last season.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We need someone that's going to be able to show up for us. And I know usually it's not just about kicking game, but for our team as a whole, that's been a big issue. And in past videos, we've said you can't blame it all on them because the outcome could have been changed if we said this happened or that happened. But there are constant times where our team has missed many field goals and then lost by under a touchdown, and those field goals could have won us the game, or at least tied it. And it gets really annoying and it really sucks.
And it's really frustrating.
It's really frustrating. So, not sure what they're going to do, at least at the time we're recording this. Hopefully, let's be real, probably not going to happen. But hopefully by the time this video comes out, they'll have signed or traded for someone that's really good, and we'll have a legit shot. But you know what? If we're being honest,
it's not going to happen.
Not going to happen. But, never know.
Yeah, you never know. Can I move on to the next special team part?
Next special teams? Go ahead. You have something else to say?
Yeah, I'm really upset about the Mikey Samastow freaking drop punt.
Honestly, if we're being honest, that could have won us the game.
Yeah,
if he catches that, first of all, it was around our own 45-ish, which is pretty good field position to start off a drive, and our offense, I feel like had a pretty good shot of getting down there, running out the clock, and at least getting a field goal. And I think, obviously, we got lucky with the ending. We'll say more on that later. But just to start off now, I think that was a horrible play. And obviously, I feel bad for Mikey Samastow because obviously I'm still frustrated with him for doing that. But at the same time, it was his first punt. He's not a typical punt returner. He's
more of a
DB. He's a DB, yep. Yeah. It's his first ever punt return in his career, in his young second-year career.
But I'm going to be honest. If that was his first one ever, I understand we wanted to give him a chance. But that was late in the game. We could be farther away from the Jets record if we had actually just put in Jalen Lane or someone like that.
Yeah, and I believe Jalen Lane was injured. I'm not sure.
He was?
I believe he stepped out the game for a few minutes. But, regardless, upsetting, obviously. And But at the same time, like, not much we can do about it, really. We can say we screwed up a lot, but, Mikey Sam still is one of the only players we have left on defense. So, really, we need him to lock in, especially with the type of player he is. He's going to get back up and ball out again. So, excited to see that from him,
Yeah.
despite making mistakes.
Even if you do make mistakes, Sam still is just a great DB in general. So, although I kind of do blame him for that, we gotta move on. We gotta just try to get on to the next one.
Yeah, and then moving on to our offense, we had some explosive plays, and I guess you couldn't really see it from the final score. Obviously, the final score is not always the best representation of what actually happened in the game, but anyway, we still had some pretty explosive plays on offense. There was one play where Jalen Lane, it was either on second or third down, had a first down catch where he got absolutely blasted and held on to the ball. Good play. And there was also another play where there was a Deebo screen. Obviously, it was a fake to running back. It was a great, obvious play for a touchdown. It was very awesome. I really love that play design from Cliff Kingsbury. Yep. He really cooked up this game, and I would like to say he called an incredible game. And I think some of those trick plays and some of those smart plays really worked out, like that one. That one was nice. And there was another one where they come out in Wildcat on fourth down, I'm pretty sure. They come out in Wildcat, and Deebo Samuel's the quarterback, and Mariota's at wide receiver. It's a QB blast with Deebo. And it's good blocking, and I really like that play. And I think Cliff Kingsbury is really calling a heck of a game, and I think he's going to be good for us.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually he's been calling a great season just in general. He's been doing great. Hope he keeps up the good work because he's a good coordinator. I hope we get to keep him, and I hope next season he can also call some great plays.
Yeah, I definitely agree because there were some games where he didn't call his best, and we missed out. But I think he's really locked in. I think he's really adjusting to all the offensive injuries and offensive changes for this team, and I think he's going to really give us a great shot to do something at some point. And obviously, we're not making the playoffs. We're not winning the Super Bowl. But I think he'll be good for the rest of the season. I think he'll really learn from this offense and help it develop in the stage that it is, even with all the injuries and everything.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Cliff Kingsbury's having a great season so far, and he's new, right? He's new as a coordinator for us.
Yep.
He should be pretty
Second
great.
year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got, also I would like to say Zach Ertz still has some great reliable hands and route running. Obviously, we said this last week when he did good, but I just want to bring it up because he's never the type of guy to get one big explosive play and all of a sudden everybody knows him. He's quiet, but he slowly racks up his yards, he racks up his catches, he racks up his touchdowns, and he's one of those silent but deadly guys. He always comes at you with this amazing route. He breaks down, he has beautiful cuts, and then he catches the ball with two hands, and he's able to keep running, and he's not the type of guy to make one big play and be known all over the place. He's the type of guy to make small plays that all add up and help his team win games. And although they didn't win the other day, I would say that I'm going to say that I'm proud to have him on our team, especially to take him away from Philly hot in your face. But it's great to have him on our team. Even at his age, he's still making good plays to take us and help us win games.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Zach Ertz, he's really doing good, especially because McLaurin is out for. He might be back for the Broncos game, but especially because McLaurin is out and Samuel was out for a bit. He's just been carrying our team, catching, blocking. He's just been doing great.
Yeah, he's been doing great. And this whole offense, I feel like, has definitely adapted. And obviously it was a close game in Miami, or not in Miami, but against Miami. And we barely lost. But in the end, I feel like we put up a good fight, especially offensively. I think should there be a couple less simple mistakes, I think we win that game pretty easily. But hindsight's always 2020. Mentioned that multiple times on this podcast. If you guys want to go check out my other videos and see that. But hindsight's always 2020. We can see now, like, oh shoot, we messed up there. But in the end, it all comes down to we are making those mistakes. The question is, how can we come back from them and learn from them? Especially because now I am going to talk about the ending. After the Mikey Samastow fumble, the Miami had it and was able to drive downfield and burn a lot of time off the clock. And that actually ended in a first and goal, and they got stopped 3 times. And obviously, not much time left. They could kick a field goal and not have to play a long time of defense, just a little bit, and stop us. And game's over. They won. And one of the dumbest calls you'll ever see, they go for it on 4th and goal. Mike McDaniel really has to wake up. They went for it, and they didn't get it, and it almost lost them the game.
Yeah, I definitely agree that it was a really not smart decision. It was just not a great decision because if I'm not wrong, the score was tied at that point, right?
Yes.
You could kick a field goal. You've wasted so much clock. You could kick a field goal and literally, well, probably because our offense went drive downfield immediately and get a touchdown. You could almost 100% win that game. All you got to do is kick a field goal with your kicker who's much better than ours and just win that game for your team. Even if you ended up winning it in the end, you still could have won it right there in that moment.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That was a god-awful call. They ran it with Ollie Gordon, got stuffed, and we get the ball back. Actually almost got safetied a couple times, a little bit scary. That might have been prior to the game, actually. Prior in the game. But in the end, that ended up sending us to overtime. And obviously, I was really amped up at that point. We're in overtime against this team. I was pretty confident coming into this game, even with what we had, that if we stop making simple mistakes, we win the game. Right?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Simple mistakes. Just no simple mistakes. Not like we made one on the first snap of overtime. The first snap. Marcus Mariota, I swear to God, takes the football. His first thought is to look deep and then decides, oh, wait a second, Zach Ertz is in triple coverage. Here you go. Free interception. Game over. I cannot believe this. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. There were actually a bunch of other people open, and what does he decide to do? Throw it into double coverage, straight to this defensive, back, Jack Jones, and he throws the game-ending pick. And all they have to do, they don't even have to waste the clock out. All they have to do is kick a straight-up field goal. So they just ran a couple yards with Achane, and then kicked it. Game-winning field goal. Like, are you kidding me, Marcus?
Honestly, god awful from him. If I had a choice, I cut him right now. Obviously, I know we don't have any other quarterback, and I know there's gonna be a lot of comments. You guys can go ahead and comment below, make fun of me. Go ahead and say, what are we doing though? Marcus is the only one we have. I would either start Josh Johnson, or actually, I wouldn't really want to start Josh Johnson. Instead, I would sign another quarterback. Someone I believe told me Desmond Ritter's in free agency. I know Desmond Ritter's not the best, but are we kidding? We're starting Marcus Mariota when we have Desmond Ritter to sign? Sign this man. Put somebody else on this roster so we can at least win some games without looking ridiculous.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. This is ridiculous. This is stupid. I mean, we gotta have someone at least just take a quick peek at free agency, because there's gotta be someone better than Marcus Mariota in free agency, because he just cost us the Commanders-Dolphins game, and guess what? Now we're 3-8.
And that's got to be one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen by him, or seen by any quarterback, really. And, frankly, he used to be a decent player, but now he's old, he's washed, and frankly, although I like him as a person and I like his play style, he's not very good anymore. He's not good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. He's gotten his good games, he's gotten his mid games, he's gotten his bad games. He's just not good anymore. All we're gonna get if we start him is bad games. We gotta sign someone else.
Yeah, and I definitely agree because, like I've mentioned before, there are good pieces to this offense. There are young pieces to the offense. We got Bill, who's very young, Lane, who's very young and good. We have Zach Ertz, who, despite being old, is still a great player. And we just have other pieces to this offense that are still ready to ball out. And with Marcus Mariota at the helm, they have issues doing that, and they don't get to have the season they deserve.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you because we have a lot of great players on offense, great pieces that make this puzzle whole. But if we can't complete the puzzle with a decent quarterback at least, and we start Marcus Mariota instead, then the people who are actually great and deserve to get some touchdowns, receptions, or good runs on this offense don't get them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think, honestly, at this point, I think what we should do is we should go and I think in our bye week this week, I think we sign players. I think we check and make sure everybody's healed up. Hopefully, some people recovering from injuries. Sign some players. Obviously, trade deadline's over. Disappointing. No moves at the deadline. Sucks. Sign somebody now.
Yeah.
Now.
Not just now. Just do it.
Yeah, I think we should sign. But, love to see what we do this week. Hopefully we do sign someone. And, we got a tough game next week against the Broncos. I'll see you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please, I'm begging you, like, subscribe, check out my Substack. Let me know what I could do better for these videos, even if you don't feel like liking or subscribing.
And if you subscribe, then the Commanders will win the Super Bowl.
Next year.
Yeah, we're not making the playoffs.
Thank you. See you in the next one. Bye.
From the past, move to the win, changing our name, strong from within. The name that we have is the name that we need. Seeking our enemies, watching them bleed, fighting like a warrior, living in charge, victory gang. Descend the star.